let me take you through two variations on the hip CARs, one on hands and knees and one on your side. Let me tell you, I do these hands and knees hip CARs twice a day. My hip loves them. It keeps me feeling lubricated and strong. So on hands and knees, get your core, no shifting. You bring the knee in and then you use your butt muscles to bring the leg out like you're peeing on a hydrant. You go backwards, feeling your glutes go back, come back, and then as you come in, you start to internally rotate and come forward. So I'm going to show you from the side. I'm going to walk you through it a little bit more. It's really important that you keep that hip long and your core stable and your spine neutral. So when you bring the knee in, you're not rounding, you're neutral. When you go out to the side, you're thinking about that side of your glutes. You're not just kind of randomly moving. You have to be very intentional. Side of your bum. Then when you start to bring it back, you're gonna think it's like almost like, it's not quite side, it's not quite back. It's like in that middle portion through there. That takes you on that diagonal. My hip is still down, I'm using my bum. And then the back of my butt brings my leg up. My foot is pushing onto the ceiling. I'm not arching my lower back. I'm not like this. My core is engaged. And then from there, I start to internally rotate my thigh bone. So my knee is going this way. The thigh bone is turning from my bum. And I keep that internal rotation as I come back to the starting position. You can also do the circle the other way. Internally rotate. Keep the internally rotate as I'm using my bum. I come back and around. The key, slow, controlled, use your muscles, not momentum, and keep everything else really stable. Radiate down into the mat, get your core, head back in space, perfect positioning of the rest of your body, and your support butt cheek is working to hold yourself stable. On your side, you could do the same thing. Make sure your hip is long, that little space. Make sure your pelvis doesn't wobble forward or back. Again, you're thinking thigh bone and hip socket. You lift the leg from the side of your butt. You do a little clam, so from the back of your butt, that is external rotators are opening the thigh bone, not letting the pelvis shift back. Then when you can't open anymore, you turn, so your leg is parallel, and you start to internally rotate and around. To really milk all of the motions, so you feel all of the muscles around your hip. So the hip is long, core, you open, clam, can't clam anymore, then flex your foot, push back like you're trying to push the wall away, and then as soon as you can't push the wall away anymore, you internally rotate and you come back around. You could also do the opposite, so internally rotate first, push back from the bum, engage the core. I'm going a little bit too quickly just so you can see all my motions, but the key is just really keep that space so your pelvis is aligned this way. You're not rolling back, you're not rolling forward, and be very intentional with the motion because you will not get the benefits of the exercise if you're just moving your thigh bone and your hip socket. It is not just a circulation exercise, it is a strength exercise. So think about that. You should feel by the end of it that you're like, oh, my butt, my inner thighs, they just worked. Okay, enjoy.